So, Jonathan, I thought it would be better to show you in a visualized way the system that I work with, the general foundations of the marketing campaign, so it would be easier to understand how we do the marketing and where we're going to market, how we use the budget, all these things. I'll try to make this as quick as possible and to show everything I can just to get the idea. Before I show you this one, so this is one of the main ideas behind the building the strategy is the funnel. Very quick, on the top of the funnel, we want to reach new customers, people that didn't buy from us in the past or never been exposed to our product or service. So we want to reach new customers. In the second part, it's in the engagement, building relationship, building trust, all these things. And the third one is the conversion, actually make them buy from us. And the last one is the follow-up, the return, the starting the new cycle again. So that's behind the general idea. Okay, so let me go bigger a little bit. There you go. So there are three ways that we're going to approach the general marketing campaign. One is the online advertising. The second is the email marketing, and the third one is the social media activity, if you want, or management. So, talking about the main online campaigns or advertising, which is the main part. So, top of the funnel, we have three steps that we go. The first one is that we're trying to find the audience with the best ad or the best creatives. So, what we're going to do, and we're going to take this one just as an example, because the same system can be multiplied with different networks. So take this one as this is a Facebook ad, but it can be also Google ad, can be YouTube ad, can be TikTok ad, etc., etc. I just don't want to, write each one of them. So we take different audiences that we test in the first stage. We want to test a lot of things. We want to make sure that we know who is the winner, what's the right way before we put more budget on it. So we want to find the best audience and want to find the best ad, the best creative with it. Then we go to the second part when we're trying to use the data to build what we call lookalike audiences. Is pretty much piggyback on the network's data and reach people that we couldn't reach or they were not exposed to us through our ads, and we use the data collected from the network to help us find new customers or new potential customers based on their behavior online. And then once we find a winner, meaning we find the audience that is actually performing best with a specific ad or specific creatives, then we're starting to use this one as the best lead generator or new customers in the funnel. So the main idea of this part, this step, is to identify the target audience, measure the behavior, of course data collection, find the best creatives, and then eventually find the winner, which is the audience / creative match. So we want to know what is the best ad for the best audience, and that's how we're going to continue with this. So technically, we want to know how or where to put the money when we go forward. A few notes. Cold audience, in this case, we want to reach new customers all the time. It's optimized based on performance. So if something doesn't perform well, if one ad is not working or one audience does not respond the way we want, what we call kill it, or we don't let it go. Of course, it's a decision. It's a day-to-day decision based on the numbers. If we increase the budget or remove the budget or remove the ad completely. So the main goal of this step is not to get sales, even though we do most of the times. But the main goal is not to get sales, is to get them inside the funnel. So we're thinking long-term. We want to get them inside the system that eventually will sell them through the next ads or the emails or all that. But if we didn't make sales in this part, it's not the main goal. And one quick note is that we never stop testing. So even if we find the winners and everything is good and we know how to move forward, we continue to test other things and other audiences and other creatives all the time. That's the system we work with in this case. Of course, we make one more thing here. We decide on when we stop the ads, how much we put on them. We want to find what's the cost per acquisition. So the cost, or not per conversion, per acquisition, how much it costs us to bring a client inside, and it can be how much it costs us to bring a lead, etc. So it really depends if it's a product or service. Then we move to the second part, or middle of the funnel. That's the engagement part. These are people that got exposed to us, but they didn't buy yet, or they left information in some cases. In some other cases they didn't, but they did watch some of our ads or some of our videos, or interacted with us in any way. So we start to build trust with them. We start to show them more and more things. Very important part of keeping relationship. And then the third one is the retargeting. Bottom of the funnel, it's the retargeting, or people that already interacted, people that warm audience, what you call, they already showed big interest. They didn't buy yet, but they're close to it, and we got to give them another push. So again, we're using the audiences that we already found as successful or efficient from the testing that we did above, and other things is we started to use custom audiences, like people that visited a website, or people that need upsell options, or the customer list of people that used to buy before, anything like that. So we start to show them. So people that know us, people that are comfortable with us, but they just needed an extra push. That's how we do with the advertising. The last thing is the post-purchase. So this is something that I see many marketers or even companies, they don't do, is once somebody buy from them, they stop and they think, okay, the goal is achieved. Something that I do usually is the post-purchase. Somebody bought from me. Now I know for sure their interest. Now I know they're excited. Now I know what they are interested in. So I kind of create more ads that are less about purchasing right now. It's either upsell options, as you can see here, or it's something about the product that they bought. So if somebody just recently bought, let's say, a Rolex, then I start to give them ads about Rolex and information about Rolex and all kind of cool stuff about this. Not a sales necessarily one, but I know they're interested in it, especially if it's somebody who just bought. I know they're not going to buy in the next few days again, maybe in a few months, but I know they're interested in it and they're excited about their last purchase. So they might see now cool information about this. It keeps them connected to the brand. It keeps them connected to us. The more they follow us, eventually they will start to get ads as they go back into the cycle. And that's always a good thing, that they're familiar with you. They don't forget you. And it's easier for them to purchase again. We segment the audience in this case by the product or by whatever they purchase or the service that they got, and we give them extra support on the product, support and information together. Upsell options, of course. Hey, you bought the watch, now you need a service that comes with it, but you didn't purchase it. Here's an ad about this. It's not in a salesy way. It's more like in a resources helping you after your purchase way. Email marketing, that's another thing that is a cash source. That's very important, and we use that in two different ways together with the campaign. One way is the daily emails, and the second is automation. So with the daily emails, we divide them to buyers and non-buyers. Actually, we do that also with the automation, but buyers and non-buyers. In the emails, we're going to segment the audience. You can see it here. We segment the audience. We pretty much break it down to pieces to understand, again, wants and needs of the list, what everybody's interested in, and then try to give them something that is relevant to their interest. It could be at the moment or in general. And everything like this, everything in the emails is supposed to support the campaign, follow up with them, keep the connection, all these things. In the daily emails, non-buyers, they will get offers, all kind of promotions and ideas, and we actually want to make them buyers. It could be people that registered to the list but never bought from us. mainly these are these people. Second thing is info and resources. Maybe they are not ready to buy yet, but they do need more information. So just sending them an offer every day is not going to do it. And I say every day, it really depends on many things. Could be once a week, it could be twice a week, could be more often than that. But in general, this is something that we decide later. But in general, we got to keep the connection with them and give them offer because we want to put them inside the buyer cycle. And the buyers, they're going to get offers and promos for upsell options, or they're going to get general things if there's a new product related to them or anything like that. We're not trying to sell another watch to somebody who just bought yesterday a watch. We have to understand the audience behavior, I said. So I have to understand that if somebody buys a watch or somebody took a loan for that matter, there's a period of time until they're gonna consider doing it again. So then we gotta be relevant with the offers, so we don't send them something that we know for sure they're not interested. And the same thing with the info and resources is to keep the relationship. I'm there for you. I'm giving you information, even if it's free information. I just consider you as part of the family, and this is something that is very important for the buyers. As the automation, we also divided to buyers and non-buyers, but these are sequences that we set in advance, and they are running on, they're being triggered by either behavior or by time, or by the cycle of the journey of each customer. Again, these are all people who either registered or asked for emails or bought from us before. Non-buyers or leads, if you want, beside the welcome when they register. There's some engagement sequences that they get just to make sure that they still open our emails and they still get it and it doesn't go to spam or anything like that. Some reminders, not necessarily specific offers, because it's automation. It's not something that we write every day. Then I have to make sure that it's relevant. So the reminders of the service, the reminder of the general operation that we do. Of course, relationship builders. Then moving to the other side, buyers, upsell offers. Somebody bought one thing. We said they buy a watch. They need also a service. Same thing with reminders. Hey, your service is about to expire. Or, hey, I know you bought, once a year you change your watch, or I know you're interested in a collection. Here's something new that we have. Again, it's not a daily thing. This will be in the daily emails. But it's just sequences that are coming in specific times. Relationship builders. The easiest one is, happy anniversary. And then the more complex one is just, hey, I just wanted to know how you're doing and if you need anything from me. So there are many ways to do this. Within the buyers, there's also lost customers, meaning people that used to buy from us regularly and they disappeared, or they don't buy anymore, or they changed their behavior. So there's also a way that we try to trigger them to come back to the cycle. One thing that you and I spoke about in the when we create just a campaign without all the emails and everything, is there's an ad sequence that comes with it. If you want, I'll show you in this one. I think I showed this one in the first meeting that we had. And when we create an ad and they go to a landing page and they try to opt in, then eventually we try to sell them. So there's also an email sequence that comes with it. This sequence is 2-3 days at max. It's not something that goes long term. It's just that somebody opt in, they get immediately an email. Maybe a day later they get some reminder of their appointment or of the product that they're looking to get or the service that they're looking to get. So going back here, these are these emails that we spoke about. Again, 2-3 days max of general emails of thanks for joining the list. Here's what you were looking for. So it's not related to all these things. The last thing is the social media campaigns. And I'm talking about organic campaigns in this case. So what I don't do, we don't post daily on social media for you. This is not part of the service that I do. It's not that we're gonna do, Instagram stories or daily Facebook posts or TikTok posts. This is part of content creation, and this is something that usually done by your social media manager or anybody who works within the company to do content creation. What I care about is that the social media will be consistent with the main campaign, or you can see it here, support the main campaign, have a consistent brand look and consistent message, and of course build trust and be a part of the community. But for me, if there's a campaign running through the email, or there's an ad running, I want somebody who sees that ad and goes to check me on social media to get the same message, same colors, same message, same idea, same promotion. I don't want one promotion in an ad and then another great offer, but separate, coming on social media the same days. So we're giving guidelines to the social media manager or anybody who's doing this. If you have somebody who's doing it, if not, we're gonna create some posts that are related to the ads that we want to upload, and then part of the strategy is when to post these things or how to post them in a certain way, but we don't do the daily operation of the social media. So this is something that either your social media manager can do, or you, if you have somebody else, or I saw some people that don't really take care of it. It's not recommended, but it's also something that happens before. All I care about, or how I deal with, is the campaigns, the advertising, and make sure that they support. So as you can see here, supportive content, and these are just the networks that we can work with. And if you remember, I said the more budget we have, or the higher the budget, the more things we can do. It doesn't mean that the more money we have on the budget, the more advertising we'll do. It means that we can open new channels. So different networks, for example, we can go Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. With a smaller budget, we're gonna choose which one is the best way. Of course, Google is one of the main things, but also if I go all the way up, then remember I said here that each one of them can be a campaign. So if we have big budget to go to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Google and YouTube, so each one of them is a test, and each one of them we're trying to find the audience, because the audience is different in each one and the creatives is different in each one. But just in case the budget is not as big, or the budget is limited in a certain way, then we start to combine things. Just like we choose only one network, same thing here, we can combine audiences. So for example, if I want to find men 40 to 60 years old, and another audience is men 25 to 40, then I will combine them. Usually I don't combine 20 to 60 with the age. It's different messages to each one, because you got to talk different to a person 25 and a person 55. But just as an example of combining audiences and doing less testing, same thing with the whole marketing, especially with the social media, we can go to less networks if you want. Other channels that I don't recommend at the beginning yet, but at a later stage, definitely for this industry, for your industry, luxury watches, loans, all these things. Influencer marketing, especially for the luxury and jewelry and anything like that. Influencer marketing is huge, but it will cost also more. So maybe at the beginning, to generate some stuff from the edge, bring more people to the funnel, and then eventually in the future to think about that. SMS campaign, especially if you have a lot of customers in the United States, but not only, but this is something that I recommend. SEO, of course, working on the website is all the time something extremely important to make sure that people find us, if you want to call it organic way, on the search engines. So these are other channels that we can do in the future. What you see here, quick note, and that's an important note, this is a work of a full marketing team. Okay, this is not a one-man job. It's a full marketing team. Not everything will be related to your business specifically, or our discussion that we had so far. It really depends, again, on the hours that we put, and the team that I have with me, or the resources that you give me, that I can use either with other people that I work with or people that you have within. But that's general. That's the fundamentals of the marketing, the idea, the system, if you want, that we go with. And of course, it needs to be customized for each business, for each industry, for each offer, for your vision, for the audience. So there's a lot of things, but there is a structure, and that's something that I wanted you to see. The last thing that I'll show you is actually an internal thing. Like I said, I work with teams, but this is internal, part of the reports that we're doing for everything. So this one is for email marketing. That's a dummy account. So I can't show you numbers, real numbers of other customers, of course, due to privacy. But you can see that everything is being analyzed. We are working with data a lot to make sure that everything is working the way we want, and we have to be on top of the campaigns and make sure that we don't waste the budget, or we optimize the budget in a certain way. There's a short video just to show you a quick discussion that we had about emails. There you go.
This is pure segmentation, and all of these open rates are close to 50%. The click rates are right around or above average, especially given like if I were to take off the filters. So like the average open rate 30.77, click rate 4.5. So like just looking at the average open and click rates, if we just take February, they went up.
One last thing is you asked me about the content. So I'm going to give you access to a folder with general trendy content of luxury watches these days. It doesn't mean that we create the exact same thing, but it gives you an idea of content that goes out right now, content that people engage with, and content that people like at this point, and what they create. Of course, we have to do a lot of work about the competition and to make sure that we are playing in the right game. So I'm going to give you access. You'll be able to watch all these videos. These are just examples of videos. We need eventually to decide how and what we can create. One of the things about the content in general is that it's very important for us to create a lot of content to be able to test and to do our work here. I usually work with a team of people that they will come to your place once a month, let's say, and we'll create 5, 6, 7, 10 pieces of content that will be used for ads. Of course, we can use them also for daily posting or social media posting, but they're gonna be high quality, not only by the way they're shot, also with the thought behind them. So they're gonna be trendy. They're gonna be not necessarily scripted, but there's gonna be some thinking behind them related to the campaign. So we want to make sure that we're creating content that will fit well at the top of the funnel and content that will fit well in each piece of them. And there's different messages, of course, going in each one, because you speak to a cold audience different than you speak to somebody who already purchased. So we have to make sure that there's a thinking process before we go to shoot any video and before we edit this. Again, I have the team. It's gonna be maybe extra expense if you don't have somebody to do that in-house, but it is recommended because at the end of the day, it's a small investment compared to the return that needs to come with it. So this is pretty much the system. I hope this was clear, and that's it.